So, do you want to do the work for it, Europe, let's go thing?
Don't you have that?
No.
You have that, right?
No, Matt, Keith has that.
Yeah,
Oh.
Okay.
So, music, da 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 da. Music, no.
Welcome to the Work for Europe podcast.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening. We have a guest tonight.
We have a guest, and someone named himself guest, so that's annoying.
Yeah, but that's you. Our guest used his name instead. But Keith is not here with us tonight, but we found a more than worthy replacement.
Oh, man.
Ben from Alb Knives and the 63 HRC podcast.
Right.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah.
It's your first time, right?
Yes,
on
first
the
time.
Show. Tell us something about you.
Oh, man. What can I say? I'm 40 years old. I'm making knives since 2015, I think. I have the podcast since 3 years, I think now, with Tim Kögler from Spira Knives.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's about it. I'm not doing it full time. It's still my part-time job. Yeah, full time I'm machinist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call it in English. Working on a CNC machine. And yeah, you are lucky that I have time, because tomorrow I don't have to go to work, because I don't know what it's called in English. In German, it means Kurzarbeit. So I just work 4 days a week right now. And yeah, that's
why is that?
Because we don't have this much work right now.
Okay.
Not much. Yeah.
So you have to take in your days and then so you work for 4 days a week?
Yeah, 4 days a week. And the other day is paid by the how do you call it in English?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Work agency, something like that.
Yeah. So basically by the state, right? So
yeah, by the state. So because we are making a lot of stuff for the car industry, so a lot of tools for machining motors and stuff, and we all know that these petrol-driven cars are no longer needed so much.
Well, I beg to differ that. I think that's on its way back very fast.
I think so too. I hope so too, because that would help a lot for my work also. But we never know. So I hope it's going the way around, and it's getting better. But we will see. We will see.
So it doesn't affect your salary, does it? You're being compensated by the state.
Yeah, 93.5%.
Well, that's reasonable.
Yeah, but you work like 20% less.
Yeah, that's true. So it's all good, all good. And I have a side business, so I mean.
Yeah, how many? Let me first ask a bit about the podcast. How many episodes did you do?
Oh God,
until
you have
now?
Questions, man. I don't even know it by myself. 167.
That's amazing, because most podcasts quit like before they hit their 30 or 50 episodes, right?
I know. It just keeps on going. It's crazy.
But you're publishing an episode weekly, right?
Yeah, weekly. Every Friday, yeah.
It's all in German, right?
It's only German. Yeah, sometimes it's English. And when we had Chef Vader on.
Yeah, I heard that one.
A few weeks back, and Keith, always English. And Keith and Jeff are the only two we had in English, I think, yeah.
And now you figured you wanna try a real podcast for once.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I hear you guys from day one, so it's very, very nice to be on here.
You've been like the only one for a long time, I think. Like I'd say locally, but yeah, in this part of the world.
Yeah, English is always this step further. I mean, we have because we record in German, there's not much listeners outside of Germany and Austria and Switzerland maybe.
Yeah.
But when I click on the numbers, they say we have. Let me see. It always shows where the listeners are. So it's very funny. We have 174 listeners in USA apparently,
What the fuck?
which is more than in Austria. I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Can we see
if
those
it's
numbers
right.
as well? Do you know that, Albert?
Yeah, we can, I think, but I don't know from the top.
No,
of my
I
head.
have no clue. I've never wondered even. So
I don't know if it's accurate because we
like
have
a dick measuring contest.
yeah, we have more listeners in the USA than in Austria.
Yeah, but there's
far.
but there's in numbers, right? In absolute numbers, because there's way more people in the US than there are in Austria. right?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
you'd figure that in Austria the percentage of German speakers is higher than in the US.
Yeah, the percentage,
Yeah.
but not in absolute numbers. So.
No. You think there are more German-speaking people in the U.S. than German-speaking
Speaking people in Austria. Might
How
be.
many people
Really?
are there in Austria?
I think it's 9 million, but there's 300 million in the US, aren't there?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, but not German-speaking.
No, not German speaking, but
That's the thing. So I don't.
let
think
me
there are-
Google that. German speaking people in the US.
There are still German towns in US, right?
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a fan of German there.
Okay, it's way less. 1.6.
Yeah, I figured.
1 million people in the United States
That's
speak
still
German.
a lot, man.
There's still a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Imagine USA would be German instead of English. That would be crazy, right?
It would probably still be German right now if it were you guys instead of the English.
Yeah. So right, yeah. I can look when our first episode launched at. No, it just I think it was the 24th of May 2021, yeah.
21.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
3 years, yeah.
I didn't even start my company.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just texted him on Instagram. I didn't know him, and I just had this idea of a podcast like KTP from USA or England, and I thought just interviewing people, and that's it. And from there on, almost every week we record a show,
Mhm.
and that's crazy.
It's just part of your life now. It's just
It really is.
And why Tim? Was it a coincidence or?
I don't know. I followed him on Instagram a year or so,
Mhm.
and we never texted before, right? And I thought, okay, his knives are looking good. Why not? And I texted him, and he responded very positive. And then I thought, well, why not doing a real podcast and not just interviewing him?
Mhm.
And then we met online to talk about and recorded our first episode. And from there on, we are super good friends
Mhm.
because we just it's just a match. This is crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, you can also hear that when you
Yeah.
listen to your podcast that you get along pretty well, and you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
I mean, we all know each other, so
Yeah,
we've seen that too. Not
it's
just
crazy.
trying to
Yeah,
do the podcast.
crazy story, man.
But you made a smart move there because there's tons of English knife making podcasts out there, right? And you're the only, as far as I know, the only German speaking knife making
Yeah.
podcast, right?
There is not knife making podcast, but there is a two other ones who are knife related. I would say there's one EDC podcast, one German EDC podcast, and one podcast from the Knife Lounge in Hamburg, which they don't do frequently as we do. They just talk about knife stuff, not knife making in general. Yeah, but we are the number one knife making podcast in Germany, right?
In the German-speaking world.
German-speaking world, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So I looked up our numbers.
Oh Lord. Okay. Let's go.
Which is very interesting because you would never guess in percentage where most of our listeners come from. What do you think?
I think
that's
USA.
Take a guess. No?
Germany?
No?
Austria.
What?
Austria, the best country in the world.
Yeah. Because you two fucks.
What do you mean?
You and Keith.
Two fuck. Yeah. And you think we drive up our numbers?
Yeah.
How would that work?
Yeah, and then Kimon and yeah, I think it's kind of like an Austrian party.
No, it's 26% from Austria, but then number 2 is the US with 23%.
23?
Yeah, 23.
Okay.
So almost the
same. And then what's third?
Germany.
Germany. Okay.
And then the Netherlands.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So the most beautiful countries in there and the most horrible countries in there. I'm just kidding.
I don't even know what to say. You know what's even worse?
The UK, which is number 5.
No, what I was gonna say is that my wife proposed to go on like for the next summer.
Yeah, where to?
To Austria.
Yeah, see?
Like, holy fuck. I was like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that.
Why? Out of spite. Oh, why?
But she wants to go to Carinthia?
Carinthia, yeah, Canton. Mm-hmm.
How do you call that?
Canton, Carinthia is the English name for that.
That's like the pretty part, right?
Come on.
Weather-wise or not?
There's so many pretty parts.
I mean, for the summer.
Weather-wise, it's a good area. Yeah, it's in the south of Austria.
I just told her like there's just one place that I want to visit if we're going to Austria, and that's probably on the way there. I want to go to the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah, the Eagle's Nest is like 20 minutes drive from our shop, but maybe
really.
Yeah.
Oh,
of course. But you know that the Eagle's Nest is not in Austria, right?
I know, but it's like on the.
It's on the border.
Yeah, it's like on the border, right?
Yeah.
And so you're in Salzburg, right? Or near? Yeah. That's right on the border.
And Salzburg shares a border with Bavaria, and the Eagle's Nest is in Bavaria. Mm-hmm. So it's actually very close. I've been hiking there a lot.
Have you been there to the actual place?
Yeah, but not to the exhibition. They have a permanent exhibition up there. But I've just been walking around and hiking up there.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never been to the exhibition.
Is there like other fucking awesome war things there, like from that period in Austria?
Like what?
Like houses of prominent people back then.
I mean, there's a few concentration camps you could visit.
Yeah, but seriously, I like that stuff. I like if I'm there, I want to visit that.
I mean, there is one in close to Munich, and there's one in Upper Austria, which is also kind of close. It's in maybe 1.5 hours drive.
I might have to make a list of things that I want to do there.
But if you go up to the Eagle's Nest, there's bunkers and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, right. It was like a whole Nazi village back then, right?
Yeah, it was a fortress. Basically.
Yeah.
A fancy house on top of the mountain, but it was built like a fortress.
Yeah, and they have all like tunnels underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's apparently one of the few places that they didn't blow to smithereens.
Yeah.
Isn't in. I was in Denmark a lot for holidays, and there is this North Atlantic Wall also, and that's pretty cool because there are bunkers right at the beach, and it's so surreal, so surreal. Just as they sitting there, right, and just massive buildings, and they can't destroy them because it would be too dangerous and would cost too much money, and it's crazy what they built there in World War II.
Yeah,
it was like on the beach.
On the beach, yeah.
Denmark, you say?
Denmark, yeah. West Coast Denmark. It's all up to Norway. In Netherlands, I think so too.
Yeah, there's beach stuff as well there. Yeah.
But Denmark also, it's crazy. crazy times.
Those were some pretty wild times, yeah.
Yeah,
Enough
a lot
about
of history.
Nazi Germany.
Yeah. Oh man. So
let's talk about a bit of about your company. So you're not only doing the 63 HSC podcast, but you also run a company, Alb Knives, right?
yeah, if you can say run, yeah, that's that's a good term, yeah.
You work at a company called
I work at a company.
Alb Knives.
I'm my own boss. Yeah, since since 2016.
So you opened your company 2016 already.
Yeah,
Okay.
I made a company.
Oh,
Yeah.
you started making knives in 2015, and then after 1 year, you registered.
Yeah, genau.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the
Because I thought, why not? I sold some knives before to people I know, and then I thought, well, why not? Let's try it. And then I called different agencies, and they tell me call there, and it was a real hustle to get this registered. It's
really?
crazy. Yeah, because you have in Germany there are protected
businesses, trades, yeah.
yeah, trades protected, so you can only work in those trades if you have
criminal history.
No.
Oh.
a certificate.
Yeah, certificate.
Well,
Thank you.
Explain this to me, because that's
So if you want to work as a woodworker, you have to be a, what is it called in English, Meister?
You have to be a trained woodworker.
Trained woodworker
to open a company.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
It's protected, so only these people who trained in it can do it.
So, but I think that's just wild.
It's Germany.
Why? I mean, for some businesses it makes sense, right?
No,
if
I
you're
don't
an
think so.
Of course, if you're an electrician or a plumber and you fuck up, then the house burns down, probably. So for some companies,
right.
for some businesses, it makes sense to have certain restrictions, don't you think? Let's build bridges. I mean,
No, but that's you just hold the bridges to a certain certificate and stuff. I don't think we should, like, to open a company in woodworking. I don't think you need it, like some sort of degree or Meister or whatever for that.
I mean, it's a lot. It has a lot to do with Zunft in Germany because of history of the woodworking of the trades, and it's very difficult. So you have to check if you need a master for the trade you want to execute, and apparently knife maker, you don't need one. So it's so you can go to you can just register it, and then it's not knife maker on the card. It's Schneidwerkzeugmechaniker. So a really German word. And then you're all good. So
Okay,
it's crazy.
yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. Obviously, I like.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, to open the company. It's just like
I mean,
I believe
you can
that over here you can open whatever the hell you want. It's just when here they have, like, if someone contracts you to do a job, they have to check if you are certified, but you don't need the certification to open the company.
I mean, I know people who open a business and they don't have the certificate, but they hire people who have, so they can make this stuff, right? They don't have it for themselves, but they hire people.
Yeah.
But you have to hire people for that, no? If you want to do that. So it's all a bit difficult. I mean, there are jobs you don't need this, and there are jobs you need this, because
obviously,
electrician is one thing. Like Albert said, you don't want to your house burned down.
Yeah, but I get that part, but there's other ways than, like, if it's just a hassle to even open the company, I don't think that's very encouraging or something for people to be entrepreneurial.
I know what you mean, and I get your argument, but what difference does it make? If I have to have a certificate, if I want to open, let's say, a woodworking company, or if I have to hire someone with a certificate, I mean, it's...
What if I want to make like bamboo lamps or whatever, you know?
I mean, there's certain trades that are open, right, where you don't need a certificate.
Yeah.
But you still need to like, if you like.
No, you don't have to have a Meister in lamp manufacturing. No,
but if it's made from wood and you open the company as a woodworking shop or whatever.
Yeah,
then just don't call it woodworking. I mean, then just call it we have in Austria, we have basically the same laws or very similar laws. We just call it Kunsthandwerk then. So crafts, whatever, artsy stuff, craftsmanship, and yet you can't do wooden lamps with that, or you can't do whatever, cutting boards or what have you. But what you can't do is like, you can't build construction, or you can't build like furniture, right? So
but what I've got from this is that when you open the company, you need to be a certain level of something.
In certain areas, yes. Okay. For certain businesses, yes.
Certain businesses.
Not all of them. I mean, we have, as Ben said, we don't call it Schneidwerkzeugmechaniker in Austria because we're Austrians and not Germans. Here it's called Messerschmied. Messerschmied is also an open business, so anyone can.
That's crazy. I can't call myself Messerschmied because Schmied is a master.
Yeah, you have to have a certificate.
Job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. But it's all crazy. Let's go back. What I do, so we don't swim in this lane. It's all good. So basically, 2016. I started with outdoor knives at first, so Puko style knives, because I read that book that I gifted my father for his birthday, and I thought, well, I can try that too. And so I started with outdoor knives and forged them. I bought a little gas forge from eBay and a little railroad track as an anvil that I still have, and just started hammering on some steel, right? But steel wasn't. I was knowing what I'm doing because I learned that stuff, right? Because I'm a machinist, so it was not that far away. And then I started with kitchen knives, 2016-17, I think, because I thought, well, on Instagram you didn't find a lot of kitchen knives, handmade kitchen knives. It was just outdoor stuff and such stuff. And then I started making kitchen knives because this company in England, Block Knives, I followed them, and they made really nice kitchen knives. And I thought, well, let's try this, and it's a completely different thing, grinding kitchen knife blades, than outdoor knives and such stuff. So it took me, I don't know, 2-3 years to really making good grinds and good blades that you can use in the kitchen. I know my second kitchen knife still owns my sister, and it's more like an axe than a kitchen knife. It's not ground very thin. It's very brutal, but it still works, right? But yeah, that's how it all started, and then kitchen knives from there on, different styles, different materials, and now we are in 2024. From 2020 to 2023, 23, I owned a shop together with my sister in our town. So we sold there my kitchen knives. So you could walk in and can choose a kitchen knife, but we broke up in 2023 because it was all too stressful and too much arguing and too much financial problems, and so I'm on my own again. Yeah, but it's all a learning process, I think.
Sure. Do you
really
remember?
crazy.
Do you remember the first knife you sold?
Do I remember the first knife? That's a good question. I think so. I think it was a hunting knife. I think over Facebook. Someone texted me over Facebook, and then he came to my shop, and then I sold him this hunting knife which I posted on Facebook. I think that this was my first knife. Yeah, that I sold, and it was pretty crazy selling things to people that you make yourself. I mean, that's still crazy for me that people buy my stuff that I'm making in this little workshop out in my backyard, and it still blows my mind. But this one really blows my mind till now. Yeah,
I love that feeling when you make something, people just they want it.
It's crazy.
The old craft thing that I like.
Yeah. It's I do have an online shop, and sometimes I make a few knives and throw it in there, and people can order them, and I'm always very surprised and grateful when someone orders a knife and a sheath and so, and it's nice. So through all these years, it's still not normal selling your own stuff, and then you get emails back how great it is and so, and it's very very rewarding.
Yeah. Yes.
Especially if you sell stuff online, right? The first email, the first order, everyone remembers the first order.
Hey, that's
that came
true.
in. That's kind of weird. I remember back then I opened my business 2019, and then COVID hit, and I sold my first knife during the epidemic. And at first I thought it's a mistake. When I got I got the email from my online shop that okay, that can't happen, right? So
yeah. That's crazy. So I put some coffin nails online. So coffin nail are my EDC knives. They just shaped like a coffin. The handle. So I call them coffin nails, of course. And it's a pretty big thing now in the EDC community, because sometimes when I put them in my online shop, they sell in 15 to 20 minutes, something. Three pieces, 2-3 pieces, and that's crazy. And the last set I put in, and I get an email on my sofa in front of the TV, and I look at the shipping address, and I think, wait a minute, that's USA, and I hadn't figured out shipping details for USA, because I never thought people from there ordering knives. So he paid 0 shipping, and I think, oh fuck, shipping is a lot to USA, right? And then I texted him and said, okay, there's something wrong with Shopify, and if he could order a sheath too, and then he pays shipping, and I send it all with one package, and he said yes, no problem. And then I fixed it, and then he ordered a sheath and then a hank too, and crazy. And then he texted me, he wanted one for so long and stuff, and he said, whoa, crazy. And then I packed it all up and sent it out with DHL, and it was, I think, a week or so on the way, and it arrived safely. But that's the other thing. shipping in Europe is no problem, but shipping USA knives, it's always this
Problematic.
customs.
Yeah. It's always tricky, man.
It's
Even
always
with
tricky.
non-knives and shit. It's like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
shipment I do to the US is always...
What do you mean? Because of the paperwork, or what do you
Yeah,
have
and
to
it's
do?
just, I don't know, it's always the amount of times that it just went wrong. Like for me, it's just awful.
Okay.
I just, like when you send like a box of platens or send some stuff to Coy Baker, was it? Yeah, that was this year. And that thing just vanished from the face of the earth. So then I made a new one and I was getting it ready. And I think I was like 3 months later or something. And suddenly Coy just shot me a message like, "Oh, that thing is great." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, it arrived. So it was just somewhere for 3 months, and no idea what happened, but it showed up eventually.
Yeah. Sometimes it's crazy. Yeah, but that's crazy. I had a customer in France who sent me butterscotch paper micarta, and I made him a coffee nail and sent it back. So it's really going strong. I'm working together with Marcel from Real Man Carry. He buys 2 times a year 5 coffee nails, and they are sold out in 15 minutes in his shop, and it's completely crazy. I don't know why. I just brought them to the EDC convention in Munich this March, I think, and showed them around, and since then the people are crazy about it. I mean, it's a good looking knife.
I can tell you why. Yeah, it's a good looking knife. It's a very distinctive design. It has an awesome name. The name fits the shape of the blade. So and the name is also very catchy, and
it really is. Yeah,
it's a cool name. I mean, especially for EDC guys, that's something, I think, right? So that's a number of reasons why it works. But how did you come up with the idea to do a coffee nail handle?
The idea is, I'm always searching for old knife style on Google. So I type in, I don't know, knives from 1800 or something, or early 1900, and then I came across this picture from a catalog from 1865, I think, and there were 4 or 5 knives, so hunting knives, kitchen knives, butcher knives, and they all had this coffin shaped handle, right? So not just the angles on the end, but the scales were also angled like a coffin, right? And I thought, wow, that's crazy. I never see this around in around Instagram or so. And then I'm tested around, and I made one for the podcast Wichteln, or for the Discord Wichteln this last year, and I tried it. And I really liked it, and I thought, well, it feels good, it looks different, it's pretty simple. Why not trying more of it? No? And then I think it was in February or so. I was in my workshop waiting for someone, and I just sketched something on a piece of paper. And I thought, hey, that looks really, really nice. And there was the sketch of a coffee nail, and then I thought about the name. I said, okay, it looks like a coffin, the back, and I mean, it's small. I mean, why not coffin nail? And then this is so fast so easy can sometimes design work, right? So sometimes you think about it half a year or longer, and then sometimes it just hits you, and you throw it on a piece of paper and try it out and show it some guys, and then it's history almost. And then I tried kitchen knives with that handle style, and they are really nice. They from first glance, they don't look very comfortable because it's all straight and angles and no round things. But if you try it out for yourself, they really fit nice in your hand. And it's almost like these octagon-shaped Japanese handles.
The bar handle, yeah.
Bar handles, they fit right in your hand. And I think it's a nice, clean knife style, so no much curves or no much lines that can disturb the overall looking. So I'm very, very pleased, and the frame handle construction really fits with the handle. So it's very light, and you can do such crazy combination, like desert ironwood as scales and plum G10 for the middle part and so on, and it's nice. I also ordered just pink G10 scales for a collaboration with a cook, and that they are getting Tiffany G10 for the middle part. So it's crazy stuff that you can do with that. Yeah,
but is it always a frame handle with the coffin nails?
The kitchen knives are frame handles. The coffin nails are
full tang.
Full tang. Yeah, I let them laser cut the profile, and so it's because it's an EDC knife. Full tang is very stable. If someone uses it, like, I don't know, doing other shit, the worst that can the scales pop off, right? That's the worst can be. So yeah, for EDC that, and then this is all one red tail. If you say that you have your EDCs, they are fixed. Then people want sheath for it. Then you have to work that out. Kydex doesn't really work with those style of knives. Then you have to do leather, then leather work. Then you think, fuck, I can sort it by hand. That's way too long. And then you buy a crappy €100 sewing machine on eBay where you hand crank and fuck around with that for months till it works, and now it works. And then I saw one sheath in, I don't know, 2 minutes, and that's pretty cool. So that's a lot of time saved, I would say. And you can experiment, trying new things with that. I made sheaths with clips now, and it's crazy. I bought a laser last week, so I can cut my own cards for the knives, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it keeps on going. It just keeps on going. Oh man,
yeah, it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. I never thought in 2016 that I have this business right now. I mean, it's still a hobby, but it's also a 24/7.
Do you want to go full time eventually?
Eventually, if it all works out, but it's still a long way to go.
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, it's hard, and if you pay a house and have other financial stuff, it's even harder. But I think maybe just reduce my full-time job maybe to 4 days, and have one day like Heath is doing. I don't know if he still has this one day. I think
he's on the brink of going full-time, I think.
Okay. Yeah. But that's maybe a goal. So 4 days in
you're kind of testing that out right now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, that's true.
You'll get used to it pretty fast, I think.
Yeah. I know.
Extra day, like if you're doing it all like in the evenings and on Saturday and Sunday, and then suddenly you have like an extra day now, you'll get so much done.
It really is. It's crazy. I mean, I work in shifts, so I have this. I work from 5 to 12:30 in the morning, and 1 week from 12 from 1 o'clock or 13 o'clock to
9 or something.
8:30. So you can work in the morning when you're at home and go to work.
That saves a lot. Do you have kids?
Yeah. No, I have no kids.
Yeah.
That
helps.
Just have
That
to
helps as well.
yeah, it really does. You have a lot of time for this shit, yeah. But it's also pressure all the time, right?
Yeah.
So you think about new stuff. You think about those knife shows that are coming up. So I have 5 knife shows, I think, next year.
Cool.
That's going to be insane. That's the GDC Con in April. Then there is the trading show in Düsseldorf, also in April. Then there is Knife Show Austria in May, and then there is Solingen, and then there is maybe Frankfurt Secrets in November, and it's crazy, but I like it.
Keeping the pressure on is good.
Yeah, and going a step higher with your business, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this order of 25 steak knives this year.
Oh, steak knives.
That was also very crazy.
What's up with all the steak knives?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a lucky one for this restaurant. Actually, I sold this chef my second kitchen knife in 2016, and he still uses it. And he was a TV chef a long time, and he used it on TV also. And they just remembered me and asked if I make them steak knives, 25 pieces.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was a lot of work with buffalo horn handles. Yeah,
I've seen.
I mean, you can agree because you made a lot of steak knives.
I can relate. Yeah.
That's why I laughed.
I feel your pain.
Oh man, that's really pain. I mean, in a little workshop, it's even more pain because you have always shift things around. It's in the way. Then 25, then grinding 25 pieces, then hardening, and oh man, that was crazy. But it all worked out. I just fucked up one pair of scales. But imagine if you order 27 pair of buffalo horn scales, it's 550 euros something. And you think, boy, it's a fucking lot of money, man. I hope it all works out, because the customer can say, oh, we don't have or I don't know. You have always the fear of it's always going to shit or something, but it wasn't.
Did you
the case.
Did you suggest the buffalo horn? Or did they?
They did.
Ah, okay.
They wanted. Yeah.
Because doesn't it warp when it gets warm during grinding? Buffalo horn? Or is it stable? Is it stabilized?
Yeah, you have to be careful. It's not stabilized.
Okay. But
you have to really be careful.
How do you like the smell?
I hate the smell.
Everyone.
I mean, the thickness was 10 millimeters, I think, 8-10 millimeters, and I milled all down to 5. So I milled almost 50, more than 50 scales.
Okay.
Down to 5 millimeters on my little hand mill
at work
in my shop. And no, not at work.
No.
I just had that would completely fuck up the machines there.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean, you hand crank the mill, right?
Yeah.
I have no electrical how do you call it?
You mean
feet.
Yeah.
Feet. So I hand cranked right, left, right, and it was awful. There was such a huge pile of shavings you can imagine. So I basically milled €250 away
Yeah.
because it was half of the scales.
Yeah, but that's the thing with knife making. It's a waste of material. At least for even grinding, right? If you grind the bevels,
I know.
you lose half of your material almost.
Yeah, easy half.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But did you hand sand them, or was it a belt finish?
Belt finish. I know they had a budget for a knife, so it was under my price. What I normally want for one, but it's business to business.
Yeah.
So it's that's a bit cheaper, and I thought, okay, that's for that budget. There is no hand sanding possible. I will hand sand a full week for the 25 knife. So belt finish, it is because of Scotch Brite, and then all good. Yeah. But you learn a lot. I made a jig for drilling all of them in the same space. So I hadn't to scribe all at one. One after another. So that helps, and I mean, it helps when you do this as a main job. You have a bit of experience making batches. More than if you just make one piece after another. So
yeah,
but
I agree. I think you learn a lot from doing batch work.
Yeah.
Efficiency wise,
It
it's
really
the
is.
best. Everyone should do a little batch work.
Yeah. So I rarely do. I'm rarely making one knife. I always make 4 or 5 in one batch, or 6. So it's always it's always faster when you do these steps 6 times, not even 1 times. So how's the shop doing, Albert? I saw some pictures of couches and
fucking white pillowed couches. What a good idea!
Pillowed couches.
What a good idea!
I said
That's
so.
going to be dark
Yeah.
gray in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, Matt texted me like 5 minutes later, and surprise, 10 people texted us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It looks
Surprise.
preposterous, right? It's like this rowdy old workshop, and then there's like this white.
It's not a
very-
rowdy old workshop. It's a very fancy workshop.
I know,
Rowdy.
but it's rowdy. It's gonna be black as shit in there.
Yeah, it's a forge. I agree. But
Yeah.
look, here's the thing: we paid $100 for everything.
Yeah, that's
So-
okay.
And that's
Okay,
and,
that's
and that's
okay.
the pillows the couches came with. So, and we thought, well, I mean, it's some kind of plastic, right? Pillow. It's not something, not some fancy fabric or whatever. So, we thought we gotta put it there. And if it's dirty, we buy new ones, right? So, or we try to wash them. If it doesn't work, we buy new ones. So, but it looks good. Yeah. Shop's doing good. We had a class this weekend with 15 people.
You are crazy.
Yeah, because we fucked up. There is some room for dispute there, or discussion, because it's not clear who fucked up, but might also be the students, because we booked like one group of 4 people, and they showed up with 6 people, and then we
Okay.
so, but then there were friends of us, so we couldn't turn them away.
Yeah.
So yeah, 15 people.
Wow.
That was crazy. Yeah, and we're not gonna do that again with 15 people. So,
Yeah.
and here's the thing: I was joking like 2 weeks ago, because 2 weeks ago I fucked up. I booked, I think, 11 people. 11 people worked out pretty well. So we finished Sunday at 4 or 5, and
Wow.
when they left, I told Andy, see, wasn't that bad. Next week the week after that, it's gonna be 15.
Look, I'm gonna do a prediction. They're regularly gonna do this now.
No, we're not. No, we were completely wasted yesterday. Seriously.
I think so.
And we started at, I think, lunchtime, right? So that's pretty late for us. It was too much. So 15 was.
So you still do the setup of Friday forging, Saturday blade,
Yeah.
and then you still grind all of them at Saturday evening, or
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
We had to do it. We had to do it a bit different this time because there were so many people. So we did all the forging on Friday.
yeah.
We made 3 groups, 5 people each, and we started at 9 in the morning, not at noon. Right.
Okay.
So 5 people started at noon, at 9 in the morning, and then another 5 and another 5 later. And then we did all the forging on Friday. Then we did all the work on the blade on Saturday, the etching, everything, hand sanding, grinding. So we didn't have lunch, for instance, because when it was lunchtime, Andy and I went to the grinding room and we had to finish grind like 15 knives.
Wow.
And then
Fuck's sake.
they did all the hand sanding, and we were pretty fast. We were done with grinding, I think, at 2 or 3 with all of them.
Crazy.
So and then they did all the hand sanding. Then we started the etching procedure, and then we even glued 10 handles on Saturday. So
Okay.
Sunday morning we glued the last 5, while Andy was gluing 5 hands with or preparing scales and everything and gluing it to the blade. I was grinding 10 handles, and after I was done with the 10 handles, I got the other 5 and I ground the other 5 handles. Yeah. So I was in the grinding room for 2 days straight.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. But want to take a guess how long it takes me to grind a chef knife handle from start to finish, even rounding off the corners, edges, everything?
I mean, maybe 20 minutes.
6 minutes, under 6 minutes. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Okay, if you're used to it, yeah.
Because I went into the grinding room at the 9:15, and I got out of the grinding room at 10 or something. So with everything, setting up the grinders and it's under 6 minutes. So
It's crazy.
I was kind of surprised because when I got out of the grinding room, the other 5 were still gluing up their handle scales.
It's all knowledge and
muscle memory, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, muscle memory. Because I'm thinking always when I go in the grinding room and I have 5 coffee nails, for example, and I pre-grind them. That's I don't even think about it. I just headphones on, podcast on, and then it's like driving a car, right?
Yeah.
It's just autopilot, and it's crazy how when I first ground my kitchen the first kitchen knives, it took me, I don't know, an hour or so.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, at least for. And it's crazy. I mean, 2 hours, and then I had shitty belts back then, and no confidence, and too much fear of grinding some bullshit. And now it's no problem. So if I have a class with 1 or 2 people, because I don't have this much space, and it's always crazy to see when you show people how to grind a blade. And they hold it and grind it, and they are some are more safe, some are more scared, and then you show them how it's done, and they look at you like, what is going on? And so, yes, I'm doing this every week,
it's muscle memory.
every day almost. So it's like, I don't know, some doctors are changing hearts every time, and it's nothing special anymore. But it's always crazy to see how far you can get with your skills.
Yeah.
So 15 people.
Yeah, that's insane. That's too much.
That was too many. Yeah, 15 people is too much.
Do you have like a guy you can call that can help out or something?
No. We never thought about this, but no, not really. No.
You should have.
Yeah, we should take fewer people.
Well,
That's our solution.
if you want to grow.
I mean, our workshop is huge, but 15 people is also too much for a workshop, right? Because someone's always in the way, right? So
yeah,
isn't it almost too much for 2 people, 50 people? Because you have to have your eyes everywhere, right?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
That's right. you can't sit down, right? You can't sit down for
No.
3 days straight because someone always has a question, right?
Yeah,
So,
always have a question.
yeah.
Insane.
But it was fun. But it was quite an experience.
It was a lesson learned. Yeah. I'm thinking about making classes next year, maybe. But it's all broken down to grind a blade and attach a handle, so it's very, very basic. My stuff.
But also from classes you learn a lot, just like from batch work, right? Because someone always fucks up something you haven't had before, so you have to find solutions like all the time.
Yeah, that's what I learned from giving welding classes.
Yeah,
it's the one thing you get very good at is fixing shit. You know, they all make mistakes, and it's also very like. It gives them a lot of confidence to show them that whatever you do, you can fix it. So it takes away the fear for them. Now, obviously,
that's good, yeah.
when welding, they're welding like for an exam eventually. And I always tell them, like, even when you fuck up the you know, in the most horrible way, you can still get through that exam. You know, it's there's no mistake you can make that we can't fix.
I have a TIG welding machine also because I worked on motorcycles before I made knives, so I bought one to weld some new covers for the front part and back part, and I learned with I think. What is 1.5 millimeters sheet metal from?
Yeah, that's terrible to start on.
It's terrible to start on. Yeah. Oh man, but I mean, if you master that, you can weld other things easily.
People are like on Instagram and everything. You always see like the thick stuff, but the real skill comes in when you go like under 3 millimeters, 2, 1.5, 1 even. Yeah,
it really is
it's way harder.
It's way harder. We have this laser welding machine at work.
Oh, you have one of those?
Not just one. I mean, 3 or 4, 5
things. Those new ones. You see those videos?
No, not those new ones, because those alpha lasers are they called. So you can weld really tiny spots.
Yeah.
Because if we fuck something up on our machines, they can
like
always
spot welding. You do like those rounds.
Yeah.
What do you make? Like therm plates or the four?
No, we make these tools with those inserts. Like if you have a lathe, you have these interchangeable inserts. You know what I mean. And we make tools for milling machines with those inserts. So we milling the seat of the insert, right? Where the insert are screwed in. And we have tight tolerances like 0.01 or 2 millimeters. And if we fuck that up, we go to the welder and he welds. So let's say 0.1 millimeter on with the welding machine, and so we can mill again.
So you basically put some material back on there, and because it's lasers, it's a very low heat input.
Very low heat and very in small places, very nice.
It doesn't fuck up the structure of the material.
Yeah. And first time I saw it, I was what?
Yeah,
what is
it's
that?
amazing.
It's crazy.
It really is amazing. It's like sometimes you see videos of that. Yeah, it's mostly what you're saying. It's like building up material again, and they put it on, like ×2 or ×3 the video in speed, and then it's almost like a 3D printer. It's
crazy.
It's awesome stuff.
You can really rescue some really fucked up shit. Yeah,
those are expensive mistakes if you don't have that.
It really is. I once brought I bought this this blade from Andy. remember Albert?
Yeah, it's
I
Solingen.
think last
Yeah.
year. Yeah, it's Solingen. And the tang was a bit had a huge crack in it. So I brought it to work, and the welder welded it back on with laser, and it's no problem.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very,
because
very
of the
crazy.
heat.
So yeah, you don't have so much
No.
heat like a TIG
Yeah.
or WIG. So it's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy
Wig.
stuff.
That's so German.
Yeah, it's really German TIG. Yeah, that's it. So when are you, Albert? When starts the when you can? Oh, my English, man, it's too late. You said that someone can
Come and forge Damascus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
genau.
already started. So you haven't heard
It already started.
you haven't heard our latest episode.
Oh no, I didn't.
Because I was talking about this on the last show. Yeah, it already started. We
okay.
had one guy from around here. Was like a half an hour drive, or maybe 45 minutes or something.
Okay.
And he came by twice already. So he forged like standard Apex Ultra, I mean standard, but Apex Ultra laminate with 200 layers Damascus. And then he wanted to start on a mosaic Damascus billet.
Okay.
And he will be back. So, and I was talking about this on last week's episode. I mean, he paid. We were pretty open about what it cost. So we paid 500 euros. He paid 350 euros for a whole day of forging and us helping him, and 150 euros for material, so steel, belts, and everything. And that's basically what we pay. So we don't make any money.
Okay.
But he forged Damascus worth more than 1,500 euros. So he made $1,000 on one day. So
crazy.
For those people who come and visit us, it's highly lucrative.
It really is.
Because I mean that's counting the steel price, right? So if we sell steel to Keith, that's what Keith pays for the steel. If you count finished knives, it's even more, obviously, right? So yeah, he made a pretty good deal. So it already started, but we wanted to start slow. So with one guy and then maybe two guys.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Sounds great.
No, it's fun. Andy and I don't have to work both on it. So either of us can do the forging and the other person can do something else, because one guy doesn't need two people watching over him. So, and it's a lot of fun to have other people in the shop. So we usually do these things Thursdays before we have a class on Friday, because we prepare the billets, so we TIG weld the billets before we start forging, and we have to do this anyway for forging classes, and then we would just make 2 or 3 billets more for this special forging session with other knife makers.
Okay.
But then they have to do the restacking themselves, and they have to weld it themselves, the restacked billet, but we prepare the first one.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun. But talking about the shop, I have an issue that's close to my heart. So I wanted to talk about. Do you guys know Mark Krause, the hammer whisperer? He's an expert when it comes to power hammers, and he lost his entire shop for whatever reason. It's a whole debate on Facebook, and whatever the reason was, he's one of the nicest guys ever, and he helped us so much during our power hammer repairs, and he still does. So if you text him, he replies it after he read the message in an instant and helps you. And he lost his shop, so there's a GoFundMe page that he can buy machines again and start working, right? All the listeners who have anything to do with power hammers or want to support the great guy, check out his GoFundMe page and donate some money, right? Because he's an awesome guy and he helped people all over the world to get their power hammers up and running.
How was it? How was his name?
Mark Krause.
Give him all your money.
He's an American, but we will put the link into the show notes.
I saw that. Yeah,
Hammer
yeah,
Whisperer.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy. He really is. So we asked him so many questions.
Okay.
So he's the reason why our power hammers, or one reason why our power hammers are up and running. And he never asked for any money, so he did this out of whatever passion, right? So
crazy.
Go donate some money, people, because a great guy needs his workshop back.
Are you gonna put the link in the show notes?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Cool. Yeah.
Are you excited about the Austrian Knife Show?
Me? Yeah, I am. Of course.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, we are in the cool kids corner.
I know. Me too.
Did you hear? Paulius from Baltic Blades is also going to be there, and he sent Martin Huber a message because Martin Huber is the organizer, right? So he texted Martin Huber and told him that he's gonna come, but only if he's gonna be in the cool kids corner, and he put us in our corner. So
it's gonna be awesome 2 days. Man.
yeah, after the show we'll do a hammering at our shop if you want to come.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, for you it's not
Maybe.
that far, but for
No.
Paulius it's like he said an 18 hours drive. So
Shite.
to the show.
Oh
so
man, it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, crazy.
yeah, we're very much looking forward to it. So it's gonna be 2 great days up there in Garsten.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy what Martin pulls off there.
Yeah.
Right? It's nice. I hope there are coming a lot of people. I really hope it, and I hope that it's enough that he continues it in 2026. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of worried that he might underestimate how much work it is.
Yeah. I mean, he is a workaholic, but such a show.
If you, I mean, you got to start somewhere, and I think
know.
it's good
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
I
just
do.
committed to it. It was like, I'll figure half of it out on the way.
Yeah, but look, if you organize a knife show, you invite all your friends and colleagues, and you want to have a great time, right? And you want to sit down and have a beer, and I think he won't be able to do that. I hope that he doesn't get frustrated, because the knife insoling, and it's not knife makers who organize these shows, right? Or blade show or whatever.
No, it's just like a third party that actually
Third party,
runs
like
the-
an event management company or whatever.
Yes.
But in Garsten, it's a knife maker, right? And bladesmith. So I hope that he will have time to sit down and have a beer with us at some point, and that he doesn't underestimate how much work it's going to be. And that he has a great team, and we all know that he does have a great team, but they all have to support him there, I think.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Is this a show?
It's a show,
It's
I
a
think.
wrap.
1.5 hours. It's not
No,
bad.
it's not bad.
Yeah, I hope I didn't fuck up my English too bad.
No, it was great.
It's always
Oh, it's
Great.
Good
it's
enough.
always a bit of a struggle. Oh,
Good
man.
enough.
It was better than Keith's.
Don't say that.
Now, Keith always asks for words. Help me out, guys. What's the English word for that?
I mean, how long does he live in Austria? 13 years?
I think even longer.
No, longer.
His
13 years,
older
13 years.
kid is like, holy shit, like 17 or something.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
13 years was someone else. So I have this one last problem. Maybe you can help me with it, Albert. I need 6mm or less, or 5mm Tiffany G10 pins. Can you do you have any idea how I can?
Keith.
Yes,
But you already,
just
but,
have
but you already asked him, right? I guess.
Yeah, I already asked him. But you have a lathe, right?
Yeah, we do. Sure.
But it's the thing is he just has this scale material, right, for the Tiffany G10. So you have to turn a pin out of that
I get the point. Yeah, mhm.
scale material.
So what's the What's the
That's-
handle scales? The thickness of the handle scales?
Overall,
6.5. Right, here it is.
yeah, 6.6, almost 7. I measured it
So that's
today.
Tiffany G10, right?
Yeah,
And you want us to turn down the pin to 6mm.
maybe 5mm are still enough. I just need 2 pins for this Pink and Tiffany project.
Okay,
If it's possible,
Sure.
if not, it's all good.
sure.
But it would be crazy.
We've never turned G10. I don't know how it does how it is with cutting tools.
I mean, it should be no problem. You have just to support it with your tail stock.
Yeah, of
so
course.
it's not too flexible. But I mean, if you cut it in a stripe and then throw it on your lathe, it should work out. I think.
How long should the pin be?
I need to. Let's say, I think the pink scales are 6.52, so it's 13 plus the middle part of 3, 16, maybe 20 per
So
pin.
20 millimeters.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's short.
Yeah, it's not too long. I mean, otherwise I would make a hidden
How
pin.
urgent is it?
Let's say
Should have been done yesterday.
no. let's say you have, I don't know, 2 weeks
All right.
are good.
Yeah, we can try. Yeah. Keith
Try
Keith,
it.
Keith,
Keep me up.
Keith should send us some G10. We have to place a big order with Keith anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna order some G10.
That would be nice if you try it, because I don't have a lathe by myself, so I would try it. But all other options, I can't imagine how I get a Tiffany G10 pin. I asked Chris from Forgeworks. He said, "Ask Keith," and I said, "I talked to him already."
I mean, Keith is the G10 guy in Europe, so
yeah, it really
I'm
is.
pretty sure he can get some somewhere, but it's gonna take longer than 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
What did he say, Keith?
Wait, I look it up. He said, if you figure it out, let me know.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask Keith to send us some Tiffany G10, and we'll give it a try.
Oh, and one funny story, just happened today. Tomo from the Kitchen Knives asked me what I paid for my hardening tester for the Micro Vickers, and I said I traded it for a knife from my old job. So I don't know how much they are on eBay, and he said I should keep my eyes open. He wants one too because they're very handy, and I said okay, and I looked up on eBay, and it's like a Previsor Vickers. How is the company? I forgot the company, but the hardening tester is called Previsor, and I typed it up, and one came up for, I think, almost €1,000.
Holy shit!
And I sent him, the link, and it's pretty close to mine. It's from the 70s, I think. This one, and I sent him the link, and I said, yeah, it's pretty pricey, but I don't know if it functions, because the pictures are very rough. And he texted me back. He made a bid, and he paid now 715, I think, for the thing. Free shipping to Spain, and I hope it works, because it's very nice. So you can measure right at the edge of your blade, because it's just a small imprint of the diamond. And he said, or he asked if I'm up for questions, if he has it, because he doesn't know much. And he said, yeah, for sure. So that's nice little funny story between Toma and me. It's always crazy. This guy, man, he's crazy too.
So he didn't own one before. So it's his first hardest. Okay, but how does it work? Is it a hand tool, or is it like a stationary machine?
It's a stationary machine. You have a microscope, and you have the testing, the
diamond, yeah.
Diamond. So it's 90 degrees. Those both are set to 90 degrees, and you can swivel them on a big arm. So you lay your knife down, and your table, you can swivel them too. So you have always a plane surface. You need a plane surface, or even surface, a level surface. Yes, now I have it. And then you look through the microscope and get the sharpness of the blade. So you see the and then you swivel it 90 degrees for your diamond, and then you have this little lever down on your table, and then you turn it 180 degrees, and it pushes the table up against the diamond, and the diamond has a Vorspannung, with a 10 kilonewton, 10, I don't know if it's kilonewton or 10 newton, I don't know really, but it's under pressure, you can say, and then you hold it for 3 seconds, then you release it and swivel the arm back to the microscope, and then you measure the imprint.
Okay, so you have to measure the imprint visually measure the imprint, right? You have
visually measure the imprint.
So you don't have like a scale on it that tells you the Rockwell hardness, like a Messuhr. Okay.
No, you have. There are companies who convert it to a digital camera, so you can have a PC with a camera, but you have to measure it. You have a scale, then that can rotate, and you can measure between the edges of the imprint, and then it's mostly 0.159 millimeters something, and that's then you can transfer it in HRC.
Okay, right. But you can also test already ground blade, right? If the bevels are at an angle already, right? So you don't have to have parallel surfaces.
No.
Okay.
That's the benefit. You don't have parallel surface. You just need to have clean surfaces.
Of course.
Because you have to see the imprint.
Yeah.
So, but it's very nice. I mean, it's very little Newton, so very little force, and it's the best. It's the best thing overall.
Yeah, because that's different from
cool.
we own 2 Rockwell hardness testers, but we have to have parallel surfaces, so we can't test already ground blades, so we only can test tanks or the top
tanks.
Yeah, that's good. It's interesting.
That's really really interesting. I mean, sometimes they are up for sale, mostly in mostly good shape. I mean, if the springs are in, then it's a good sign. If they are not in, you can't buy them anymore. I mean, it's you have to imagine you have this one light bulb that's all the electric on this thing, and it's a green painted light bulb because you have more contrast. And it's really funny. Okay, now I'm out of stories.
Those are good stories.
I bet you're not, but
no, I'm not. But I'm tired.
We have to keep some stories for the next show. So
yeah, sure. All right, guys.
So thanks, Ben.
I thank you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks for the short notice.
Yeah, and thanks, Matt, for showing up for once.
Oh Lord. Anytime.
No, not anytime, Matt.
Well.
All right.
Outro
Thank you, guys.
music.
Outro music. Do. Yeah. Talk to you next week,
Bye,
guys.
fuckers.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye for now. So now I can eat again.
And now I can cough in the mic again.